a quorum around the table, and I'll get started here. Our director will join us shortly. Conflict of interest statement. As the Surrey County Board of Elections, we have a duty to avoid conflicts or appearances of conflicts of interest. Does any board member have any known conflict of interest or any appearance of a conflict with respect to any matter coming before our board today? If so, please identify the conflict or appearance of conflict and refrain from any participation in the particular matter. Everyone has the minutes from our January 30th board meeting for absentee board meeting before you. Would take a few minutes to go over those. Any additions, deletions, or approval? So no. I have one question on the minutes. Wait till Michelle gets back. So I suppose you'll continue to read. Hold your place. Well, let me ask one question about the minutes.
Yes, sir.
And well, the last big paragraph on the second page,
Okay.
where it talks about the motion being made, qualify Ms. Barham as a candidate. Should that include who made that motion
Yes, it should.
and who seconded that motion?
The motion was made by Barbara Kane and seconded by Jimmy Yockley.
Should it include that information?
It definitely should, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, with those corrections, I would make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Seconded.
We have a motion and we have a second. Is there any further discussion? And also the addition of the motions and the second. For the back page for the petition candidate, Judith Barnby, that was submitted. No further discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Yes, sir. With the minutes continuing to be passed around for signatures, I'd like to go ahead and open public forum portion of our meeting. Is there anyone present that wishes to speak before the Surrey County Board of Elections, either present in the room or online? Use your chance, Roger. Being no one wishes to speak in public forum, I will declare the public forum closed for this meeting. I'm here today for another round of absentee ballots.
Yes, sir. And the statistics for the second absentee meeting for February the sixth, 2024. A grand total of 148 absentee ballots have been distributed. We have had 17 returned. All 17 recommend approval. Today we have 10, because last week we had 7. And we have 131 that are outstanding. So you have 10 before you today.
Okay. Like to distribute the 10 around the table for perusal. Are they all? No military or?
No military or overseas. No, we did receive one overseas, but we had a issue with the ballot style. The ballot style requested was not available to that voter with where she lives, what her residence is in the county. So we have emailed her to see if she would like to select a ballot style that is applicable to her.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, we're getting the ballots. I always want to bring those over last to make sure they're not accessible to anyone, and so last, they're not here yet.
You've not had anything else to do today.
No.
Glad everyone is safe, heading back home after the training exercise in Concord. And sorry that I was not able to be there.
Let it be duly noted, we missed you.
Yes, we sure did. It was a beautiful day yesterday and today. We didn't get to see.
I was so high up in my hotel, I could see the top of Pilot Mountain. Northwest.
Wow.
Now,
No, I'll be quiet.
what?
What were you? There you go, 5 on each side.
Stayed there and watched TV till 10 till 12.
Did you really?
I didn't want to leave.
So they threw you out.
Tonight.
Use the notes.
Yeah, that's the first one we had.
You mixed up down there.
Got system.
Okay.
I've seen this.
Did you? Already got it going the wrong way.
Jimmy, that's the only trouble with that seat. It happens to everybody.
Look here. One set like this, one set like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, make,
It's literal.
That's a good way to do it.
And I start packing them right here until I know I can count 5.
Drew is not disappointed. He's not in that seat.
No,
I'm looking for 3 more. That's what I was doing.
And feel free if you want to take the photo IDs out, you're welcome to. Of course, that's not sealed, but most of those are very clear.
Yeah, they are.
we had more than this coming in, didn't we, in the primary?
Oh, yeah.
When,
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Staff open.
Objection, you'll open the ballot.
Me take them all.
An envelope on top or bottom? Envelope on top or bottom?
Yeah, you tell me.
I've got the machine open.
Do you want, yeah, a
You
bipartisan
working on that?
team want to check the seals?
Barbara, you not, didn't get to do that last time.
She did.
Call them out and you verify them.
Oh,
Barbara,
okay,
right
perfect.
There, yeah.
Not got any with check marks yet.
What's that?
Not got any with check marks or anything yet.
What do you mean?
Where we can get to remark them because they've just done checks or
Oh,
something
well,
like
we
that.
don't
or
know. Yeah, see,
Drawn to.
we're getting ready to find out, but
We'll be right in there.
none of mine have, no.
What surprises.
Seven, five, one. And then there is our closing. So this is name, 741. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that one because we're gonna need in this part. And we'll go ahead and check these. So our, emergency bin seals, 178,744. That was our float. And because we are not gonna need the emergency bin, I'm gonna seal that, so we can seals. And then the, ballot box order, 178,745. 178,745. All right, so I'm gonna leave that one as well. And I'm gonna get the machine up, and our opening count should be the same as our closing count last time, which I don't know. What it was.
It's 7. Should be 7.
And this one, instead of a zero report, it's gonna print a short configuration report, and it will have that 7 on.
And speaking of that, at conference, it was spoken many times that observers can take photos of the zero tapes and the configuration report, but the configuration report does have the qualifying code on it. So that must be covered up if anyone wants to take a photo of that.
I think y'all are gonna even folded the configuration
Yeah.
report under. so you
Under,
don't
yeah,
even
but
Have to worry about where that's
How
at.
much of only of the zero tape?
of the configuration report that it prints out before the zero tape.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's
Not the
on
full,
election
not-
day.
they can't take the full.
They can take a picture of the full zeros, but not the configuration qualifying code. Thank you.
Seal, this was the top one, and we're just gonna leave the rest, because we don't. need
Yes,
it in there.
thank you. And Andrew, you might want to go over there closer to observe that part.
Stop. So, I don't like the saints one there. So they got the public hearing set.
What's 7?
The public hearing, yeah, so that was our opening, that's after. meeting. So our public count before meeting right there. Nope. And then our opening, if there's any remarks, that's where those will go. Those seals, which we can go ahead and verify them. but
Yeah,
if
you
we're
got,
not
you may call it out?
Yeah,
Drew,
Drew,
you want to call it out to them?
and then that should make it that.
So do I?
178,743.
And what's the other one?
178,742.
Yeah, so that's where that would go. This whole side is open, that whole side is closed.
We might not have to cut those today. We shall see.
Why not? Right, so the machine's open, I'll tell you this is the configuration report right here. And right there, it will say your public count 7. Public count 7, and so, of course, these here have been open at our last meeting, so we're just gonna say, don't close, keep voting. And we're ready to do the ballots now. So, we'll get signatures. Trade you, how about that?
That works.
Thank you. That's it. Not really close.
Get 77.
Yeah.
Work.
You wanna send them there again?
You could tap one of these times,
Yes,
then it's cut off.
yes.
Thank you.
And
I
it
can
was,
try 52, is that what? You go to 77 or 52?
52.
Well, I did. You do it?
I started at 77 and as soon as I did, I turned around, I said, what am I doing? I made it, took the first day, wheeled around, come around, come back. I don't, one more thing,
It just seemed out of the way from where we were to go 77.
well, it's just, that's where I used to go all the time.
I know, yeah.
But that's a 77, it's just a time they married anymore.
it was good today.
Worse and worse. Oh, it was good today. We came 85. Yeah. Yeah.
I do 77 if I want to talk, Big Daddy's need or
Gotcha.
Or come 52 and 85, if you're gonna stop and eat barbecue,
Oh,
what's your favorite barbecue place?
well, I got 2 or 3 down, but
What are they?
Tar Heel Q's awful good.
That's the one out on 64.
Yeah,
Lexington or where?
Tar Heel Q.
But where is that?
It's off 64, right there at the Yankton River.
Oh,
Never
so it's
heard
not
of that.
far. I hadn't either.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I didn't eat till pilot plant.
It is good.
I'm telling you,
It's
Um,
good.
just sort of a hole.
Especially in
Yeah, we like
Oh,
the
yeah.
old one.
Yeah, you don't judge that book by its cover.
No, that's
Different view.
exactly right. Pork chop.
While they're doing that, you want to close on the machine?
Yeah,
or just
and if-
wait?
Just that where you stopped today?
I
No.
gotta put mine
I
back.
came
You
on
kept
in.
yours and I
I
did
stopped.
not.
Well,
Wendy's.
I was gonna come on with the house and I called Carol and I said,
Yeah,
have you
it's just
seen?
these four.
And she said, yeah, so I made as far as I could, so I
You want me
stopped.
to get Barbara and
Stopped
Terry
in,
again?
Did you get her some?
No, she said,
Yeah.
I leave, so I stopped in King
Big
at
reports
the
there.
dairy and ate 2 hot dogs.
Oh, you can't beat that number
No.
one special.
Oh, I love Terry.
I do
Yeah, we
too.
love dairy.
That's her favorite, Dario.
I don't think we have to do any remarks today, so we're ready to shut the machine back down. Once you sign, I'll get
Okay.
y'all two again.
Okay.
That's smooth, that's good.
Sorry.
See, I
A
did
little
this-
slow there.
They
Sorry.
working now.
Got it there.
They're in. Okay.
They're in the clear.
No, you can go to verify it. And if you want. All right, so today our closing count is 17. So you're gonna write that, yep, there.
Thank you.
Short work day today.
Functional and productive.
Once we got the ballots.
Yes, once we got the balance.
Oh.
Those ballots goes good and good and
Yeah, yeah. pretty much.
not rejected.
So we're gonna use this seal to seal.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
That's great.
Yeah, it does.
They color in the line and they don't make check marks and stuff like that.
73730.
The machine will even pick up if somebody has put, if they just put their pen or pencil down in one circle,
Just the dot of the pen.
the dot of the pen,
And picked it up.
and then they come back and they color in the next one, it's more likely gonna kick it out.
It's not.
And then there's where we have to unanimously make a decision. What was the intent of that vote?
All results through, yeah.
And then make a remark.
Now, just-
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow. These ready for signature?
Yes, sir. They are triplicates.
That's the case.
All 3 pages?
Yes, sir.
And Andrew's writing the same seals down for the blank ballot because we didn't cut it.
Yeah.
The last.
We didn't have any remarks, so we didn't need any ballot stuff.
That's it.
Sydney, this needs to go back in Unity.
Oh.
I didn't realize it was still on that card.
Yeah.
I'll put it in there.
Ask you a question, Michelle, when you're done.
Yes, go ahead.
That last ballot here just says the Mount Airy City Commissioners.
Mhm.
What? Is that someone that don't want to declare a party or they're
Yes.
like a green party or something? That's the only.
That's an unaffiliated voter who wants to vote a nonpartisan ballot. And
And that's-
only in City of Mount Airy is their ballot for that.
So you have to make a special ballot for that one.
Well, see, they're nonpartisan races.
Yeah.
So
So-
anyone that is in the City of Mount Airy is eligible for that N11, is that what it is? On the right, upper right-hand corner.
Yeah, 11.
Yeah,
But they wouldn't, if they said Democrat or Republican, they vote the others, wouldn't they?
they would get either a D1 or a D2, whichever is
But if they just say, I just want to vote for unaffiliated,
unaffiliated ballot. Yep,
that's the first time I've seen it, I think.
yep.
I mean, have we done that before?
Yeah, I mean, for City of Mount Airy races are nonpartisan, so.
So it's just somebody does not want to declare a party.
The reason you haven't seen it before is
nonpartisan.
before 2022, Mount Airy had their elections by themselves.
Yeah, I remember 2019 they had.
So now they're in with everybody else. And so they're the only nonpartisan race there is.
So that's if they don't want to declare a party and they're not voting in any other, in the Democrat or Libertarian or Republican primary.
Right. If they want to not vote for any other office, even school board, and they want to remain unaffiliated with their vote, that's the only option they have.
I don't remember that. I mean,
Well, but see, in 2019, the only ballot you had was City of Mount Airy.
yeah. I just can't imagine somebody not declaring a party if they're unaffiliated to vote, you know?
We've had a
You
couple,
got,
we've had a
you
few.
have to prepare for it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Mhm.
Good. That's for my education. Cause I surely need it.
We've had absentee ballot requests come in that just want to get a ballot for the general. They don't want a primary ballot.
So you register them for the general already?
Mhm.
They're on the book to
Mhm.
get a ballot when they
Yeah.
first go out.
But now each one I do call and say, just checking, making sure you understood, yep, I don't want to participate in the primary. I said, okay, we just want to make sure you're not going to miss out on something you thought you were, expecting.
I didn't
Good that you called them though.
know.
Yeah, the top of that form can be a little confusing. There's a lot to read on that absentee ballot request form.
So it does include primary and general.
It does. It includes primary, second primary, if there is one, and general. And then the very last bubble is all year. But if the voter does not check all year and circles in all three, they don't get the ballot for all three. They have to submit another request form for the others. So we have called people to explain that, and we have sent them another request form so they can check that box to get all three. And that is something that has changed, and it is unfortunate.
Yeah,
That's.
Because
because
the way
that's
it
a lot
is,
of work.
the
for
way it
y'all.
is worded, you have a bubble beside each one. Well, if I fill in all three bubbles, I'm thinking I'm getting the ballot for all three that I checked.
That's,
So many. And of course, most people think that's our rule. It's okay.
Okay, we've made quick work of our absentee ballots, so continuing on with other business.
Yes, sir. First, I will start with a couple of things from conference. Byron Isaacs did attend our tabletop session at conference. That was his idea and his suggestion. I thought it was great. I think it was good for the board to talk with him and be able to have that time. And another good thing came out of that. I think most of the group there heard the conversation about putting air tags on the ballot boxes for election day. so we can track where the ballot box is. That, and a question was also asked of state board if that was okay to do, because that's in someone else's vehicle, and they said they did not see an issue, with that. So I would like to ask this board if you all would approve that purchase. We would like to proceed with getting a tag for every election day ballot box that we have, that we can adhere to the inside lid. So when the lid is open inside the DS-200, it will not disturb the natural fall of the ballots inside the box, because the lids are like, the lid is like that.
Right.
And then when it's closed, it's protected. If it was on the outside, I'm afraid it would get damaged or knocked off.
Mhm.
So we would like to, I think, what was it, 4 for $70, something like that. It's not terrible, so.
So whatever the price is, that would be the best price available for the county to purchase them at.
Yes. And then we also found a sort of like a case you would put them in that would adhere, that has the sticky back on it as well. So that's going to be a little extra expense, but not much. So I just want to make sure the board is okay with that process.
You need a vote.
It would be desirable, yes.
Make a motion to do it.
We have a motion to secure air tags,
One second.
and we have a second. Any discussion among the board?
It's a good idea.
If not, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Air tag.
Thank you. The next thing from conference was our election day absentee meeting. By statute has always been 2 p.m. But now with Senate Bill 747, that has changed the law. The language of that meeting is now going to be at 7:30. And a whole lot's got to go on at 7:30. But nonetheless, we're going to have to adjust our schedule. So I just want the board to be aware that we will have you a new schedule next week at the next absentee meeting. We'll update our website and update it wherever we have it. So that will change from 2 o'clock to the 7:30 meeting.
So we'll combine the two meetings into the 7:30 meeting.
It is the 7:30 meeting, yes. So we'll, as time gets closer, we will discuss what time for you all to be here, but you will not have to be here at 2 o'clock on election day.
And 7:30 will not be a leisurely, get a slice of pizza meat.
This will be.
Watch
Food
the
will
TV.
food will be later in the evening, I think.
Do we still get to watch TV?
Just hope it's not a midnight snack. We hope it's earlier than that, but.
That puts a lot of work and a lot of pressure on this board, but also in staff, because there's so many other things going on at 7:30 that has got to take place. And then here we're opening the absentee machines. And that's just, I hate to hear that, but that is now the law of the land.
And anytime the machines are opened and closed, it must be a public meeting. So that means instead of being in here at 7:30, we will be in B and C at 7:30, because election day precinct is in
Right.
here,
Right.
and they will not get finished until
We'll be
8:15, 8:30. So we usually transition, once they're at a good stopping point in here, we let the media in on this side of this room. So probably the board will get to cut through those doors, go by the media and go in there, instead of having go in the back where all the election night stuff's happening, or go outside. So we can come through these doors from that hall. And
Okay.
And there could be a lot of people in that little room too.
could be.
Go to the kitchen.
No, well, yeah, you could even go through the kitchen and go to, yeah,
make it through.
uh-huh.
But both at 7:30, our meeting with the board is public. And then the public is also available for optional for them to be at the closing of the election day machines here. So you've got two public meetings going on.
And absentee ballots are due at 7:30 on election night.
No more just day of postmark that day.
No more postmarks. So we'll have to accommodate for that with staff up front and with the post office. I assume, but I'm going to find out. Usually the postmaster will do a delivery himself to meet that deadline. He always has. So I'm going to talk with him and make certain he can bring those ballots over right at 7:30. You know, the deadline before was 5, and that's a little more doable for a postmaster. But I think the USPS usually pushes out directives to accommodate our schedule, of course, so. But I'll work that out, because I don't know, it's gonna be tough to have someone that can leave and go to the post office, but we'll work through those details.
Things will be thin.
They sure will. We have secured the 4 deputies, 2 for each school that we utilize on election day, which is Mountain Park Elementary, the Bryan precinct, and Westfield Elementary, which is South Westfield precinct. So we do have those. This board pays them an hourly rate to secure those. Now, we have since found out it is spring break, but staff will be on campus. So
Some, not all.
some, and they are asking that we continue that, and I'm fine with that. You know, we work well with superintendent in coordinating to be able to utilize those schools for those communities that are used to that. So that we have budgeted for that. And since the sheriff is not on the ballot, we can use deputies this time,
Uniform deputies.
uniformed deputies instead of the police departments that we had, utilized in 22 because the sheriff was on the ballot. We have got that worked out, and we have those 4 deputies secured.
Great.
The luncheon or the first responders lunch, I think everyone got that email. Please let me know. I've heard from Jimmy and Barbara. They will be here. Please let me know so I need to get numbers, of course, to the caterer by the end of the week. And
What date is it?
it's the 22nd of February at noon.
What day is that on?
Thursday.
Thursday, yes. And early voting will be happening in here. So again, we'll be over there.
We'll be in the little room with that crowd.
Yeah, we'll have to be.
Is that room, can it get any bigger? Can you open it out? Awful little room.
If you open a wall, you into the voting enclosure.
Yeah.
You could eat outside if it's warm, sure.
Just pray for good weather.
Can't get,
Picnic,
you
yeah.
have to eat in shifts.
No, it'll accommodate for,
Remember
For
our
this.
absentee meetings in 2020, it was packed over there.
That's what I'm thinking about.
fact.
It's gonna be packed.
So that's at 11? Or
It's at noon.
noon.
NONE.
And I think it will be more beneficial even than last time, although last time was wonderful. We got great coordination from everyone involved to follow the trucks delivering the voting equipment and to be there when the precincts were open that night for the delivering or for the chief judges to go into the precincts. And I expect just even better this time with the communication we've had, and Byron has been a huge part of that.
Building that communication line last year did go very far with the safety of our people and the security of the machines and everybody having everything on the same page and 911 being involved with knowing exactly where all of the polling places are and numbers. It was a great first step.
It was. And I was pleased with the response we had last year of attendance too, or in 22 rather.
I know that I won't get it, but.
Okay.
The doctors,
Okay.
well, not for me, but anyway, I will be.
I'll have to check mine and see.
You're good.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, thank you. And then Jimmy, in response to your email, we looked at the website this afternoon and there is a tab that we can add the resolution, the statement. Help me, I'm losing the words for resolutions that Mark did.
Right.
Prepared for the board.
Right.
We have found an area that can actually go
Be
on.
accessed.
Yes,
Okay,
it will be under the board with board minutes and you scroll all the way down. So we feel like we can fit that there with the rules of decorum, conduct and ethics statement of the board.
sounds like a good placeholder.
So adding that to it makes 4 different board resolutions that we've made. So that one tab, you can see all 4.
We
We'll get-
certainly had a fire hose. A day and a half of all the laws and the discussions of all the new laws and. Just appreciate you doing that.
Sure.
I felt like it would be appropriate for people to access it. Since people are needing a brush up on the law,
Oh, yeah,
so.
most definitely. And I think that's everything I have. I might have a couple more things for next Tuesday, from conference, but we're trying to figure out where we are
The
today.
dust hasn't quite settled.
Yeah, yeah. And I just included sample ballot packets for the board.
Thank
in
you for
case
that.
You might get a question, you never know. So, and then 2, and see your ballot style.
Okay. There's nothing further. Director, is there anything from the board that you would like to add to the meeting? I would like to say thank you, board, and also staff, for the card that was received and personally hand delivered. Thank you for thinking of me, and I appreciate touching and thoughtful. Thank you.
We're glad you're back.
Yes.
Yes.
Glad you're better.
Excellent.
Working towards it. Working towards it.
I say back, you didn't miss any meetings.
No.
I didn't mean it that way. You didn't miss, but we did miss you at conference.
This conference. that's all.
Yeah, the guy from, Institute of Government asked me, where were you? What's his name?
Bob Joyce.
Bob Joyce, yeah. Just
Bob.
where Dwayne?
Bob was asking about me. That's kind, nice.
I got some oceanfront property in Arizona.
I'll need to call him and tell him thank you.
Just be sure to say go Heels.
If there's nothing further to come before this meeting, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that our board meeting come to a close.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion on closing? If not,
Well, let's see.
we have discussion. Oh,
Will this day ever end?
all in favor, please say aye. We are adjourned. Thank you all.